And that's what I find really useful about our gatherings.
Mm. The neutral is way easier to work with than even positive or negative,
Absolutely.
because
Ab-
both of them have a charge, and normally it isn't even us who's giving it the charge. We are only giving it by signing it positively or negatively instead of just saying, well,
Exactly.
it happened.
That's right. Yeah.
And funny when you do it with other people, they say, wow, you're one cold son of a bitch. Don't you think it's positive or negative? Well, I don't
Yeah.
really care. It doesn't really affect me. It's just stuff happening, and it isn't even happening to me.
Yeah.
And the way I get the information is through somebody's camera, which means he has an opinion about what I'm supposed to see, and it goes to a TV station who filter it out so I only get what they want me to see.
Mm.
So it's very positive and negative are very limiting.
Mm-hmm.
While neutral is just the possibilities of both positive and negative. And you're not giving it any charge. You just see it.
And you lose all the creativity that there could be
Yeah, you
in
get
the
on a one-way
situation.
track. Yeah, a one-way track is positive or negative. It's only going one direction. Neutral has endless possibilities. And we don't even have to react to it then.
Being neutral is like being in the vortex. Huh?
Yeah. The hurricane wouldn't work without a center. But nothing really happens in the center. But everything surrounds it.
Thank you, Alison.
You're very welcome.
I am feeling more neutral about it. But yeah, Chris just says you have to sit with it and not change it. So I'm just sitting with it. And I am feeling more neutral. So thank you.
Mm.
It's just part of the process. But yeah.
Mm.
It's just like the time when we talked about oscillation. It's either
Mm.
positive or negative, but in the neutral, you could actually relax.
And when I think about it, I think it's in that neutral, when you go into the silence, that's the space that you have for imagination to take you into the field.
Yeah.
And the thing about doing that is that it takes you much further because you go beyond your thought field.
When you do it with neutral, you don't force it or pull it or anything. It's just flow state.
Mm.
I am feeling the integration into my heart.
Mm. Mm.
Mm, nice.
It's been slow, but like the shift from my head to my heart, and I'm feeling it, and it's just like slowly happening more and more.
That's wonderful.
But first, I've got to die to my wounding, and that's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I resonate with the number 9 on the Enneagram, I'm integrating all 9 of them.
Mm.
So it's all 9, like they're all coming up one after the other, all 9 of them. This time it's been a love and belonging, but before that it was I'm not perfect.
Mm.
And I died to that one. So I'm just being really easy on myself because I know I'm integrating all 9 of them. They're just coming up one after the other. So yeah, thank you, Alison. I've also been getting Life is Boring coming up, and I've just been sitting with it and like,
That's the beauty of sitting with it. It settles and you can actually see the clear picture instead of when you're working it. It's like water. When you're putting your hand into it, you don't get a very clear picture of yourself. But if you just remove your hand and just look at the water, you finally can see yourself. It just has to settle.
just being able to sit in it and not falling into the emotion, which is happening. See the emotions, but don't identify with them and don't fall into them. And just sit with it. The not belonging one though has been a big one. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that is a big one.
Yeah, so we hold the belief of how the world is, how our world is. And it's limiting. It's limited. And when we can see the other side, see through it, see the other side of it, sometimes the truth of it in the moment, the other side is the other side of the truth you were believing. And so you just think of a pendulum that wasn't swinging, that now is swinging. Because the pendulum could now see the other side. Now the full range of movement exists. The larger truth now exists because the truth contains both the positive and the negative, the contraction and the expansion. the truth of truth. And then there's space to find, to discover, to create, to manifest your truth.
Mm.
Not the belief that was there that at first was true, and then the other side of the opposite, the other side through that truth. That was just stability to see.
I would like to share something. It's a bit hard for me to say, but I'd like to share it. What you said, Jesse, last time, I can't remember when it was, but about being able to see it in others, not yourself. It's a lot easier to see others and not yourself. I've come to see that recently, like with my family. I've noticed like my mum, my sisters, they tend to make things about themselves. Like everything's about them. And I didn't resonate with that at all. It's like I'm completely different. I'm the special one in the family. But I've been really honest with myself. It's hard for me to say, but I've seen that I tend to make things about me. I can see it's not as loud as my mum and my siblings, but it's there. And it's because I want to be acknowledged and I want to be seen. So I tend to make things about me so I can be seen. Yeah, and it was really hard to see. Like, wow, I make things all about me.
It's the validation we're all looking for.
Mm.
Well, I can also see the family pattern because I see it very evidently in my siblings and my mum. But I didn't see it in me before, but I do now.
Mm.
When you were seen, what was the feeling? The fulfillment.
It's that Bible thing, making the blind man see. We're doing it to ourselves by looking at ourselves.
I just never saw it in me before, but I do now. And it's like, oh,
And so I'm reminded that we do everything for a feeling.
because I want to be seen and I want to be acknowledged because I want to belong. And if I'm seen and acknowledged, I belong. And if I belong, I'll get love. I'll be loved.
Mm.
So it's all about love, getting love, receiving love.
Well, if you remove
Hard
a
to
lot of
say. Sorry, Hans.
you can remove all of them except just say, I do it from love. Just step out of all the other steps. You don't need them. It always ends with love anyway. So might as well just go to the end result that is love. I'm guiding my son and I'm doing it out of love. I don't have any validation or anything. Of course, I would like to live with him, but if we don't live together, it doesn't really matter. I do it out of my love for him. Break it down to the most simple way of looking at it. It may not be easy, because it's simple, but it do make a hell of a lot more sense to you.
Well, in the way we walked through the belief, really at the end of it, the belief was love, but that someone was going to give me love.
Yep.
And that was the only way that you could experience love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the belief that forces all the other steps in there. Because I've been ragging a lot on the ego, but the ego isn't all bad. It just has a shadow side.
Yep.
There's always the other side, and that's what we try to bring in.
Mm.
But we have to see what we need to see. And there is no time. Like there's no set time how long that takes.
No, everything just has its time.
There's always two sides. Sorry.
Oh, to Gochi. Thanks.
Yeah, I was thinking that there's always two sides to the same coin. Yeah. So it's all about shifting the focus. Because fear is lack of love, and love is lack of fear. It's all about where we're choosing to put our focus.
Yeah.
And learning that we have the power to choose.
Yes.
That's the most powerful word in the world. I choose.
Choose.
Well, first you do have to see it, like, because if you don't see it, you don't know.
That's right.
And I can see what people mean now when they say I've done the inner work. I actually know what that means now.
Right.
You have to see it to change it. If you don't see it, it's like it's blind. You're blind to it. You don't know. You know. But with that seeing it comes a sense of like inner calmness.
Mm-hmm.
Once you sat with it and you haven't made it right or wrong, you just sit with it. No, don't try and change it. Just sit with it. It dissolves, and then there's just an inner calmness. Oh, run to recode now. Just sit with it.
Isn't it amazing how incredibly powerful our bodies are?
And it's ordinary for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Who
everybody's
switched it on.
Yeah.
Only those that switched it on. Sorry, Heinz.
It's what everybody's looking for, mostly outside, by having a coach or something to find your own creator. Well, how can he help you? He's just a guideline to actually what you need to do. You just need to open your eyes and look at yourself. You create whatever you want every day. People just expect it to be bigger and brighter because that's what the neighbor is doing. Well, you're not your neighbor.
That's what their belief is. Yes. They believe they know what it should look like.
And when it comes to your creator, it's formless, shapeless, and nameless.
I've got a question for you guys, Alison or Jesse, because I know you've done this work. Maybe it's about the how. I'm just wondering, when did you know the moment when you activated your superpower, when you turned that wound into your superpower? When was that like defining moment that you're like, yeah, I've turned it into my superpower?
When I saw that my life had been oriented towards it in a dysfunctional way, because it said to me that I can now see the power in it. I was just using the power the wrong way.
Mm.
That's when I knew. So it didn't make me wrong. It was just misapplying the purpose, the passion, the drive behind it. It's like I could appreciate it, but I saw where it was coming from. It wasn't genuine. It wasn't the full piece of it, but it was trying to use the power, use my power in the wrong way, from the wrong perspective, which came from the wrong belief. And not like the belief changed, just the perception of it.
Mm.
So you changed the meaning of it.
Yes. I saw the other side of it.
Focus.
And I don't even say aware of the other side, aware of my automatic, my default. So I would be pushing for money and power this way, the only way that I knew how, the way my whole life had been oriented to, and didn't realize that there was any other way.
Yeah, I can see it like mine, because I want love. And the only way I knew how to get love as a child was to make it all about me, because that's what I saw off my parents.
Mm.
So I was just looking for love in the wrong way.
And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't.
And I've just carried that into adulthood because I didn't see it.
Mm.
How could a child?
Well, now I see it and I'm
Yeah.
neutralizing it. And I'm more mindful of when I make things all about me.
Mm.
Oof.
That's huge.
You
Feel
short
like I'm gonna cry.
circuited.
Sorry. Just
Yeah,
want
go
to come
ahead.
out.
Yeah.
Just feel like I'm gonna cry. Want to come out. But thank you for holding space.
Mm.
I have the feeling it's when we put a positive or negative charge to it's all about me. It's all about me positively. It's all about me negatively. That's where we go wrong. But as soon as you said that word, neutralize it. It's your life, so it's still all about you, but in neutral.
I feel it was coming from the aspect of it's all about me because I want to be seen. It's like I want to be seen, so I make it all about me. See me, love me, see me.
Who weren't you recognizing as seeing you?
What did you say, Jesse? Sorry, I didn't hear.
see the orientation where that see me comes from.
Yeah, it's from my father. I've not been seen.
Okay. Now take it inside and imagine your heart is yelling to the world, see me, see me. Who is it talking to?
Myself?
Yep.
Yep,
To see
your higher
myself.
self. Your higher self.
Yeah.
Bingo.
And it's actually the only one who's always seen you. It's just the dark
Mm.
side of the ego getting in the way. The validation and being good enough in others' eyes while you're the greatest in your own eyes.
The systems, like the school systems, is all about do this, do that. It's not about what we would like to be, what we would like to do.
Oh. And it's all about validation. If you do that, you get good grades. Other people judge you to be a good person.
Yeah.
That's the
And our
opposite of
parents,
love.
did they pick it up somewhere too?
It's the opposite of love. Judgment. Love don't judge. Love just is.
Thank you. I can feel the integration. I can feel that I'm breaking a family pattern because there's something around love in my family. It's a family thing around love. About like a distorted view of love that runs in my family. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're bringing so much loving power into it by just the awareness itself. Because that's when the higher you says, oh, he's actually seeing me. You're doing it, Ian.
I would like to share something else that came to the other day. I was doing the new identity matrix, and the person that said a family member who wants the best for you. That one I've always struggled with. So I've always said a friend, Tammy, that I saw as a mum. She was like the mum that I always wanted. She was just a beautiful person. So I've always put her in that box. Anyway, the other day when I was doing it, my nan came through. And my nan, she died when I was about 8 years old. And I just remember always being really quiet. Like she never spoke. And I know she was ill herself. She had a condition called ataxia, which like affects mobility and stuff. And I got the message that she's always loved me. I'm loved. She loved me. But when I was a 5, 6-year-old, she didn't interact with me because she couldn't, because my granddad controlled her and he used to shout at her, like if she would speak out of place, and because of her mobility issues. And it's not that she never loved me, it's that she couldn't express it. And I just saw a clear picture of my nan, and like I felt this love radiating from her, and I felt this healing in my heart, and it was really beautiful. Like my nan came through for me, and it's like, I love you.
It's a very powerful experience.
And now you're coming through from her. You're fixing the family pattern.
It was like I'm loved by my nan, and it was really, yeah. So I've always wondered what it was like to have a nan, because my dad's mum died before I was born, and my mum died when I was 8, so I never really had a nan. So I've always wondered like what's it like to have a nan. But yeah.
we have to constantly reminding ourselves, of nurturing ourselves with self-love. That's how we're nurturing the inner child.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we heal those old wounds.
Get a release of everything we don't need.
The way I can describe it, like I've been carrying these bags, like on my back, ancestral, my own, and it's like they're just falling off now. And I feel like I'm floating.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can do it for you.
And no one can see it for you either. People can tell you, but if you don't see it yourself, you're like, no, that's not me. No way.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. No way. You have to see it yourself.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, but
hurts.
Yeah, that's why people avoid it.
Mm.
that's probably one of the great things also about the course. It was that you got to see yourself through others' intuition. Getting more perspectives than just your own.
And it was nice to see you on screen, Heinz. I only ever hear your voice, so I saw you on screen. It was nice. I like your long hair.
Yeah, getting longer. I wasn't allowed to have long hair as a kid, but when I got married, I got long hair, and then I cut it all off, and then I started again. And I think before I got a haircut last time, what was it? I think I went 7 or 8 years without cutting my hair. Just enjoy having it. It's sort of like when I need something to relax myself, I just take it over and sit and play with my hair. Way closer than a fidget spinner or anything else to.
It was just nice to put your face to a name. Like I've seen your photo, but it was nice to actually see you on screen. It was like, Heinz, I see you.
Yeah, and I liked his answer to, well, I have an idea that I want somebody to love and share life with, but the opposite, like he said, well, is that what you truly want, or don't you just want to be, you just don't want to be alone anymore? I like that way of looking at it because it's just using different words for the same thing, but there's a big difference between what you actually want. One thing is you don't want to be away, but the other is you actually want it. The last question was the hardest. What do you want?
I'm feeling that now, like without seeking validation, without seeking approval, without coming from the structure of what society says you need to be happy, without wanting to impress people. What do I want just for me?
Yeah.
Just because my heart wants it. Because before it's been about, oh, I want to impress people, I want this validation, but now it's like, what do I want? What does Ian want? Just because he would love it without any validation.
Yep.
I think there's the difference between the I and the me. Maybe the me is seeking more validation.
Mm.
Like me. Mini me.
Mini me. That's the
Mini
ego.
me.
That's the mini me. Twice as evil. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna head off now, but thank you for letting me express myself. I feel I've integrated it more, so thank you.
Thank you for being with us, Ian.
You have a pleasant
Thank
day.
you so much,
Thanks
Ian.
for sharing.
Thanks for
Much love,
sharing.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, no Chi had, but have any of you other guys heard Ebony's new meditations on Facebook?
I have it.
Going into the heart center. Today we were, what was it? Was it grounding the heart center through golden light through the earth center and golden light through the higher realm, or I can't remember what she called it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Great meditations.
She does do good ones.
Mm.
And she has a real calming voice when she does it. She really takes you into it.
No. Thank you all for a great morning. Thanks for
Yeah.
being here. Thanks for showing up and sharing. Yeah, it was a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
the great
Lucy. Thank you, Chi.
Thank
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks,
And
Chi,
have a nice day, all of
Heinz,
you.
Allison.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you all
Thank
have a blessed day.
Thank
Bye.
you.